Hey guys, today we're drawing the life of a rather intriguing SCP object, the SCP-093. SCP-093 is neither a humanoid monster nor an animal. Then what is it? SCP-093 is a disc-shaped object. It's a red-colored, disc-shaped circular object. It looks like this. This disc is carved out from some stone. The red color leads to the conclusion that it must be carved out of a stone composite, which must be like Cinnabar. There are many engravings done on the disc in 0.5 centimeter depth. The disc is 7.62 centimeters in diameter. Finally, we have an SCP object, which is actually an object. So where did it come from? The disc was first found in the shores of the Red Sea. In the year 1968, on January 30th, the disc was found in the shores. It was emitting a dim blue light from it. This was spotted by some localites, and they tried to get a hold of it. But it changed its color when they touched it. They got scared and informed the authorities. Once it was taken from the shore, the color started changing. In the presence of female examiners from ages 34 to 41, the disc started emitting an orange mixed red color. The range of the orange hue increases and decreases according to the person who held it. It's assumed that the strength of the color depends on the amount of regrets in the individual's mind. The color change is something which needs a much deeper research, which is ongoing now. SCP-093 won't change its color when being touched by a non-living object. An interesting fact is that the same blue color in which the SCP-093 was found was replicated only once after the procurement. It was on April 26, 1986, when the body of another SCP object, 194-9834, was discovered at the research facility in dead condition. We could not find the reason behind this phenomenon yet. Now the containment of the disc is simple. We need a mirror for that. That's it. A mirror has to be shown to the SCP. Then it will move towards the mirror. It always wants to locate a mirror and get attached to it. So we show a mirror and it gets attached. You must be thinking, okay, if a disc loves mirrors, what's so interesting about it? How is this SCP even dangerous? Well, my friend, there's a twist. When the disc is attached to a mirror, it turns the mirror into a portal. And now the fun begins. So the disc opens a portal to a different world, similar to us, not quite different, but it's a world that's already been destroyed. But the civilization was far more advanced than our world. And if we can tap into their technology, we can become an advanced race of humans. But, you see, it's not that easy. In fact, it's quite complicated. There's a reason why this world was destroyed. After the discovery of SCP-093, experiments were done on this object by the SCP Foundation. And in one of these experiments, they found something that was about to change the understanding of the whole human civilization. During this experiment, one test subject was sent through the portal to see what's behind the portal. The test subject was equipped with survival gears, also multiple cameras and sensors to record everything. Every abnormalities behind the portal. When he moved forward in the portal, it led him to a world similar to us. But after some exploration, he saw something disturbing and horrific. There were humanoid creatures made out of clay or plastic. They have holes in their faces. Some are small and some are bigger than buildings. The subject couldn't believe what he saw. Suddenly, a 40 to 50 feet tall monster chased him. This humanoid creature was missing half of its body. It was horrific. Immediately, the organization's scientists pulled him out. It was a very strange situation. On one hand, the human civilization just discovered the existence of a whole new world, but the risks were too high. After further inspection, the SCP Foundation found that the humanoid creatures are responsible for the advanced machines and civilizations of the Second World, but they're also responsible for the destruction of it. It was a conundrum whether to explore the Second World or to close the portal. Exploring will help us gain knowledge from it to help develop our own civilization, but there is this risk of destroying our own civilization in this process. If the knowledge is cursed with this monster, our world can suffer from the same fate as the Second World. So the SCP Foundation decided not to explore the Second World, and they contained the SCP-093 disk. It was too heavy of a risk to explore the other world, because if the monsters get to enter our world, who knows what will happen? And nobody really knows the nature of this monster. At first look, they look like robots from a higher life form. It seems they were cleansing the human civilization so that a higher life form can take over a second Earth. Because of all these reasons, it was best not to explore the area. Till date, it's kept under video surveillance all the time. SCP-093 is classified under the class Euclid. The mirror, which is used to contain this, should have silver linings. It's kept on a pedestal of around 2 feet. The pedestal cannot be made of wood, from mahogany, pine, cherry, or aluminum. The pedestal is kept at least 4 feet off the ground. The space where the mirror is placed is contained and secured. If anyone is to enter the area, there needs to be a video recording of the visit. The SCP-093 is to be used only for approved testings. Any other testing or even touching it is dealt seriously by the SCP Foundation. Also, the mirror is not to be kept in spaces with more than 12 feet by 10 feet area. SCP-093 is definitely the most questionable SCP object we have now. Everyone's curious about it. Sure, there are so many doubts on its existence. As far as the object remains harmless, it's going to be really informative for the humankind to study more on this. So, that was the story of SCP-093. If you like horror stories like these, hit that subscribe button with notification so that you will not miss any episode. And I'll meet you in the next episode. Till then, stay safe.